Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy Speed here, and today we're back with, can you believe it, a support video. Yes. But yeah, we're gonna be looking at Puppy today. I mean, hey, if I'm gonna make a support video, it's gotta be about the best support in the world, right? On, arguably, the best support in Dota right now, and that is Kotl. This hero is incredibly versatile. It has a good laning stage, a good mid game. It farms, it fights, it stacks. It's a very well-rounded hero. And so yeah, we're gonna watch how Puppy plays. The main topics I want to talk about are why you don't have a gameleap sub. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, please like, subscribe, go get your gameleap sub. And I have a couple of topics I've analyzed and want to talk about within Puppy's gameplay. So let's get right into it. Alright, so let's get into the Kotl game now. As I said, this hero is absolutely insane. It's broken, and in the laning stage, you're good against everybody. Why? Well, let's say the lane is easy. You want to know what you do? You blast the wave in. You want to know what you do in a hard lane? You blast the wave in. I'm not kidding. This is literally the strat on Kotl. No, but I'm serious. So, the idea behind Kotl and the reason why everyone's picking him right now is that your Illuminate only costs 100 mana right now. So, it's 100 mana at level 1, and it leaves the range creep at 2 auto attacks. So essentially, if you have a safe laner with a nuke, or you have a hero like Terrorblade that can meta, essentially what you do is you blast in the wave, the Terrorblade can secure the range creep, and you kind of just lane from there. Then after that, this hero is incredibly simple. Now, if you pick Kotl, I highly recommend you try to get your safe laner to pick a hero that can jungle. Why is this? Why do you want a hero that can jungle when you pick Kotl? Well, let's take a look at the game, and take a look and think about Kotl's biggest strengths. So right here, we're at the 6-minute mark, and this is where things really start to pick up in the video, even though the video just started. His Starblade goes to jungle, right? So Matama Man is like, I'm out, it's a Darkseer Phoenix lane, a lot of magical damage, I don't want to be here, I don't want to die, I don't want things to go poorly. So what do? You might be saying, oh my god, they're going to lose their tower. No, because you have a Kotl. So Puppy's going to pull the small camp, he's going to get the wave back, and then let's see what he does next. Right? As the wave dies under his tower, he waits, and he's going to defend this tower for the next year. I'm serious. Like, I'll literally skip ahead from 2 minutes from now, he's still going to be blasting the tower. And yeah, now you can see with blasting the tower, he's level 5 at minute 8. Now, in terms of skill build, you don't have to take your W every game. In this game in particular, the Phoenix was dragging waves, and he used it to do a lot of damage to the Phoenix. But it's certainly not a spell you have to take every game. It is very valuable. It's a great value point. However, if you know you have a carry that's going to leave the lane very early and you simply just want to blast waves and play chill, take your Chakra at level 4 as well. But yeah, nonetheless, you really want max blast when you're playing like this. It might seem like, I want to put another point on my E. After all, the E nearly doubles. It's quite good to put another spell in it. However, you just want to be able to blast out that range creep consistently. And you'll see him do this, right? He channels the blast, level 3, it one-shots the range creep. Very, very important. Because then, all pushes are essentially dead. Once you've killed the range creep, most waves will simply topple over and die. And that is why this hero is incredibly strong. You go this build, you have your hero jungle, look at what Terrorblade's doing, and you farm on your Kotl. And all of a sudden, in your pubs, you'll be extremely farmed. Now, you might be saying, Speed. I can't get my cores to leave the lane. I would say 2 things in return to that, okay? Please hear me out on this. If you're trying to gain MMR, please hear me out on this. You have 2 options. Number 1, tell your carry to leave. I know I just said you might think they don't listen. A lot of the time they do listen, especially if they're a jungle hero. The second thing you can do is make stacks. Then if you make stacks, you have a reason for them to leave the lane. It's not just like, hey, I want the lane, leave. Your reason is, I made stacks, I want you to take them, right? Can you go take them, right? That type of thing. And so that's a really good option anytime you're in this scenario. Now, moving on to level 7 Kotl, as he still is in this lane. He's been here for the last 4 minutes doing the same exact thing. And yes, this is Puppy. This is a pro gameplay, right? This is what you want to do. But the main reason why we're here is I do want to say 2 things. Number 1, he's TPing into a fight. You know, now that there's no tower pressure and he's pretty farmed, he does want to TP in, but he's also taking a second point in Chakra. Once you can kill that range creep, you don't need the maxed out blast. Next up, let's discuss how to take fights as Kotl. You're going to be farming a lot. You're going to be pushing a ton of waves. I want you guys to get extremely farmed when you're playing your games. However, you still need to fight. Well, when you fight. You can fight anytime your setup heroes want to make a play. If they're going to make an aggressive play on the map, and you have ulti, feel free to show up. So in this clip here, he's going to be TPing in. Now, the first thing you want to consider is recall. Anytime you're about to take a fight as Kotl, the first thing you need to think is recall. Do I want to recall someone in? Now, at this point in the game, the Terrorblade is relatively farmed. He's not huge, but he's, he's got meta. And so what is Puppey going to do? He's going to TP in. He's going to ulti, right? Get that recall up. And that's how his ulti works. It gives you recall, it gives you blinding light, and it also gives you the ability to channel illuminate and move while you channel the illuminate, right? And so, yeah, this fight, he TPs in, recalls the Terrorblade, walks over here, leads with the slow. The slow has a really nice cast range. 700 is huge. That slow, it does two things. It slows, believe it or not, and it also reduces magic resist. It's honestly such a good level 1 spell. And then you can see as he runs in here, he's going to give himself mana, then blast. It's very important to consider that most of this time this hero is going to be out of mana, so you're going to have to prioritize giving mana to yourself more than your teammates. Not always, right? But a lot of the time, because your ulti, when you pop your ulti, Blinding Light costs 150 mana, and Recall costs 150 mana, and your nuke costs 150 mana, and your W costs 60 mana. So frankly, it's a lot of mana. But the next thing you want to do as you run in, and you get some arcane boots, is pop your Q, right? Gives himself mana, pops his Q, and you can see it puts down this like shadow. It's a little bit weird here, but that shadow will cast a blast for you and you can disengage while it does. Next up, let's talk about items on kotl. So in terms of items that you want to buy, this game he actually bought a Quelling Blade early on. I could have discussed it earlier, but basically the reason why you buy Quelling is so you can cut through the trees and push in waves without the enemy team catching you. Yes, that's literally the reason, On top of that, you want to buy defensive items. That's really about it. Glimmer, Ghost, Force Staff, Yules can be good in some circumstances. Let's say the enemy team has an axe with Blade Mail and you want to Yules him when he calls in. That's totally fine. I've even seen some kotls buying mech. They've rushed mech and they feel like they can sustain it with their E, and that is an option as well. In this game, he's mainly concerned about getting jumped by the Phantom Assassin, even by the Void Spirit to some extent, and so a Ghost Scepter and Glimmer Cape covers both of those ends and allows himself to keep himself alive. And really, that's the main thing is kotl. You're not really looking to tank damage or bait people or anything like that. I mean, you can, but it's incredibly risky. Generally, your value is just going to come from staying alive and providing a very low cooldown blinding light and huge nukes. Now, really, in a lot of late game fights, as we shift over to the 35-minute mark here, in a lot of these late game fights, you're really looking to kite out. The BKBs are often going to come early, and it's your job to just stay alive and wait them out. Right? This hero just doesn't do much when BKBs are active, right? When the Void Spirit and the PA jump in, there isn't too much for him to do, so you can see he immediately runs away, right? This is really good positioning by Puppey, immediately disengaging as the fight breaks out, right? He knows he can't do anything, and I think a lot of support players struggle with this concept. They struggle with the idea of, oh, okay, I literally can't do anything. I need to just wait. But this is a very important idea, right? You can even see here, he backs behind these trees. In the last fight, which I didn't show you, he got one-shotted by the PA, then he bought back and got one-shotted again, and so I think he's a lot more hesitant to step up now. But yeah, as the fight breaks out, he stays really far back, waits out these BKBs, then he can obviously drop the W onto the Void Spirit. Not only does it slow him, which is nice to chase him down, also amps up a little bit of that magical damage, which we talked about. And yeah, although he didn't do anything crazy in that fight, he didn't need to. He just needed to make sure that he didn't get bursted right off the bat, so that he could stay in the back line, and eventually, if the fight somehow went poorly, save his teammates. The next thing I want to show you is the net worth. Guys, keep this in mind. He has 8,000 net worth at the 35-minute mark. The next time you play your pubs, it's very important that you aim for this as well. I want you guys to all set a goal. You want to have Puppey levels of farm, alright? You don't need to have a million CS. He does have 123, which is a lot. But I want you guys to have 7 to 9,000 MMR around the 35-minute mark. 7 is on the low end. Go for it. Make that your goal. Get your items and have impact with these items. What a lot of people don't understand as well is that items, if you can get them, not every support can, not in every game you can, but in a lot of games as kotl, the majority of games as kotl, you can pick up these glimmers and win fights for your team by saving people. It's just like that. But yeah, that's about all for today's video. I know it's on the shorter end, and the last videos have it on the shorter end, but we gotta guess the rank coming. We also got another Smurf to 4K video coming very, very soon. I haven't seen what the hero is yet, so I can't tell you guys. But as always, I'm very excited for those. I honestly love that series so much. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And yeah, let's go over a couple of main points and then end off the video. The next thing I want to say, I know this is very niche, but he actually is carrying the Enchanted Quiver. There are so many players right now that just think if your team gets the Enchanted Quiver, someone has to carry it, right? There's just a lot of people that believe this. I mean, sure, he has an Arcane Rune right now, which is bringing it down to a 3.5 second cooldown, but it's like this really low cooldown nuke, right? It's just a nuke. It's a good nuke. It doesn't put you out of position because it gives you 400 range, and you just nuke people. Like, it's enough to justify. We'll see if he really does auto attack here. Sometimes players do forget about it. Like right here, he should have thrown out an auto attack to proc the quiver. I don't blame him. People forget about it. You know, it's just how it goes. But do keep in mind this item is good if you remember to use it. Next up, talents. Just want to quickly go over it. He takes the 30% blinding light mischance. If the enemy team has right clickers, which they often will, you should take this talent. Right, 30% more on a mischance is an extremely high number. At level 15, he takes the cast range. Blinding light cooldown is decent if the enemy team has some obscene amount of like units. Let's say they're playing like Lycan, Beastmaster, Prophet, that type of vibe. You can go the blinding light cooldown, then even consider going an Aether to make up for the cast range and go that route. At level 20, honestly, both of these are fine. I think the Spirit Form duration is a little bit better as it does allow you to get your 2 big spells now, so I generally go that. And finally, at level 25, honestly, I've been seeing this Blinding Light stun, and it looks great. It gives you the ability to cancel TPs, and frankly, a 1-second stun in the late game and a massive AoE is extremely valuable. It just is. The Illuminate damage, if it was like 400 Illuminate damage, I think you could consider it, but 160 is frankly underwhelming, and I'm even surprised that it's 160. It just seems so low. But thanks for watching as you guys watch him kite to the outside of the fight. Remember, when you're playing Kotl, kite, 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 constantly moving backwards, constantly making sure he can't get jumped. And yeah, you just want to make sure you get nuke after nuke and slow after slow off, and you're going to do very well on Kotl. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed as Matoma Man kills the entirety of the enemy team, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. But yeah, that's going to be about all, folks. Remember, click the link down below and subscribe to the Game Leap website where we have thousands of videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.